Everyone, this is Rue, and today I am going to explain to you the chapter from our English course, CBSE English core book, that is Vistas, and this chapter is called Journey to the End of the Earth. End of the Earth. This is written by Tishani Doshi, and this is a fast revision video. So, starting off, the text starts by Tishani Doshi saying that she started her journey from 13.09 degrees north of equator in Madras. The important thing here is that she was settled in the vessel called Academic Shokulski. This is an important term in this chapter. You can use in many answers. This vessel or the ship was Russian, and they were heading towards Antarctica, that is the coldest, driest, and windiest place. In order to reach Antarctica, they had to travel through 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 bodies of water, 3 ecospheres, and 100 hours of journey. They had to go through this. Tishani Doshi says that she reached Antarctica in 100 hours traveling by car, aeroplane, and ship. She tells us about the past now in this paragraph in the book. That is, she says that 650 million years ago there was this Gondwana. This is important term again. Gondwana plateau, that is a southern supercontinent. So this existed when there were no human, warmer climate, and variety of flora and fauna. Now the change part starts from here, that is uh, when the landmass was forced to separate into countries. And this all happened when dinosaurs were wiped out and human came to existence. Humans started evolving. At that time, the landmass, that is supercontinent, started to break apart. This was due to the movement of tectonic plates. This account tells us about the geology, past history, and future of our planet. And this is also significant to know the significance of Cordilleran folds, that are the system of mountain ranges, right, which are joined in parallel chains. Secondly, it also tells us about the significance of Precambrian granite sheets. This is the exposed part of geological core of North America, mainly Canada. And very important part here is that it also, the past of our planet also tells us that the evolution of ozone and carbon and their extinction, the ozone's extinction actually, all this happened in million years. During this time, India was pushing northwards, that jammed into Asia jamming into Asia, formation of Himalayas. Then during this time, South America joined North America, opening Drake Passage, right. Third point is that fourth point is India was pushing northwards, formation of Himalayas. Fifth point is South America and North America joined together and the Drake Passage was opened. What was this Drake Passage? So Drake Passage is actually the water bodies that separate southern part of America from Antarctica. So this Antarctica, due to this Drake Passage, is cold, frigid, and at the bottom. This Drake Passage also create cold circumpolar currents, right? Now she moves back to the present situation. She says that I cannot see any sun rays for days. And 90% of Earth's total volume 90% of Earth's total ice volume is in Antarctica. That is a very large amount, and this can be an important point. This is an important point that 90% of Earth's total ice volume is in Antarctica itself. The author says that it was the experience walking on Antarctica was like walking into a giant ping pong ball that was devoid of human markers, no trees, billboards, buildings. You lose all the earthly senses as everything looks very similar. So she says that she sees everything very similar, only white ice everywhere, white snow everywhere, right? From small to large, we can see things here, midges and mites to blue whale and icebergs. As big as countries, iceberg that was as big as countries, right? Now she says that in this place, she experiences austral sunlight. Austral means southern hemisphere, and she also experiences ubiquitous silence that is found everywhere. That means everywhere she found was silence, and this silence was broken by avalanches, caving of ice sheets. Now she says, as she watches these avalanches and breaking of ice sheets, she thinks about geological history and also the future that is not very good, that aren't good, future predictions that are not very good. She thinks about these situation, and here actually the uh, the main the main aim of this geoff green that you will that will be discussed after this part. The main aim of his was to make youngsters realize that our future also depend on Antarctica and how problematic situations are currently. His main aim was basically that if youngsters see these problems, if they see, they will have a bigger impact in their minds and they will work for it in their future, right? So main aim here is kind of fulfilled because, as author says, she starts to think about the future, right? This was kind of the main aim that is fulfilled. She says that human civilization is around for 12,000 years, that is just a few seconds in the geological clock. We made during these few seconds in the geological clock and 12,000 years, we made quite ruckus, that is chaos, dominating earth, nature by villages, towns, cities, that is basically settlements, and also the industrialization, then rapid increase in human population, and third is burning of fossil fuels. These are the things we did to our nature. We changed nature according to us. Now she says that human is selfish. That is not really her words, but it kind of conveys the meaning that human are battling with other species for limited resources. Earth has limited resources, and humans, first of all, they are deteriorating that sources, and also they are fighting with others species for those limited resources, right? This is the same thing that is explained here. Now burning of fossil fuels unstoppably creates a blanket of CO2 around world, increasing the global warming temperature. This is the fifth important point, that what are the things we did to our nature. Now she tells us about what are the climate changes. So Antarctica is important in this debate because it is the only place where no human is settled. It is sustained from human population. It is pure. That means pristine. It holds ice that are half million years old, having carbon records trapped inside them, inside the layer of those ice cores. Now, here she mentions about the program. The program's name is Student on Ice. This is another important point. The name of the program, that was Student on Ice. So, this program actually undertakes students, they take student, mainly high schoolers, to the end of the earth, that is Antarctica, providing them educational opportunities, helping to understand and respect the planet. See, I told you that she was fulfilling the purpose, right? So this is the purpose, the aim, and it has been operating in operation for 6 years. This was introduced by Geoff Green. This is important term again. You can mark it as 7 or you can include it in the sixth point. Uh, the student of ice was started by Geoff Green. He initially took celebrities and retired individuals, rich curiosity seekers, but they won't make any change, and that happened. They did not make any big changes. They just gave back in limited way. Thus, he offers students who will be the coming policymakers, right? The future makers, basically. Um, he offers students who will be the coming policymakers an experience when it impacts the most. Impact, see, the keyword here, right? This could be the eighth point. That is, he takes the young curiosity seekers so that they have a better impact in their brains. They observe, learn, and act. So, as just hearing, not actually experiencing about the problems, issues, there won't be that level of impact. But actually watching and experiencing it in front of us, the glaciers retreating, ice shelf collapsing, will make us realize the threat of global warming is real. This is the answer why we take students to this program and not the adults, right? So this is an important paragraph. You can write it in your own language, read it from the text also, mark the keywords, and the next thing we have here is Antarctica is a perfect place to study because it has simple ecosystem and lack of biodiversity. This is a important point again. Why is Antarctica the perfect place to study? Because of its simple ecosystem and lack of biodiversity. Like, okay, this is again very important point. That is phytoplankton. Phytoplankton is grasses of sea that nourishes and sustain the entire southern ocean's food chain. These plants use sun's energy to assimilate carbon and synthesize organic compound for photosynthesis. Scientists warn if ozone is further depleted, this plant is also depleted, sorry, affected in a wrong way, obviously, which will further affect the life of the marine animals, birds, and of the region, sorry, birds of the region, and the global carbon cycle. On the global level, also, it will have an effect, not only in that region, highlighting that when small things are taken care, big things take care of itself. Big things itself fall into places. So this is an important line from the text. Now, walk on the ocean. This is an experience she shares here. That is one of the best FE phonetic experience of author's Antarctic experience was at 65.55 degrees south. That experience was due to that Shokalski was stuck into a thick white stretch. So this could be a question, that why did she experience this, like what was the condition. So the condition was that Shokalski, their vessel, was stuck, right there, it was stuck into a thick white sheet of stretch of ice between the peninsula and Tadpole Island. Important point. Then uh, she tells what happened, that captain said us to move no, captain said to move the vessel, to turn it around and head back to the north. 52 students, passengers, had to climb down the gangplank and walk on ocean. That was kitted out. They were kitted out in Gore-Tex and glares. So, what is the experience she talks about? She tells that our Shokolsky was stuck between spread of ice, and we had to climb down and we had to walk on the ocean. The ocean was frozen, by the way. Underneath was a meter thick ice pack, and under it was 180 meters of living salt water. That means it was in liquid state. So this is the diagram. Like they were walking here in this platform, which had 1 meter of ice under it, and even deeper, there was 180 meter of salt water. In the periphery, they saw carabiter or crab eater seals. They were stretching and sunning themselves on ice floes. Like stray dogs, she makes a kind of connection here under the shade of banyan tree. Right? She makes a connection here of dogs and the seals. Right? How they both of them stretch and sun themselves. So she says there's a connection in everything. Now she says this refers here that she is returning to her house. That is, she again travels 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 water bodies, and many ecosphere, and she reaches back. She wonders, she's at home now, home or return, right? She returned to her house, her place that was in Madras. She wonders if she wonders if Antarctica become a warm place. Will we stay alive till then? And this is again a point that a lot happens in million years, but a day can make a difference. This could be a question like, where is this line taken from? In what context does she say one day? What was the day? What happened that day? And what is she referring to when she says million years? Right, so I have marked some points in this chapter. As you could see, there are total, I think, 11 to 12 points. Those are very important points.